Chapter 8 of the book Path to Enlightenment. Insight Meditation. Meditation on the 32 part of the body, known as mindfulness about body. The hindrances arise in our minds as a result of external objects that interact with our six sense organs. Through the practice of breathing awareness meditation, we now have the ability to control the mind and are able to investigate any situations without the hindrances. We need to investigate the whole world as we discussed in the previous chapters, but we do so with the mind free of hindrances. A mind free of hindrances is sharp like the sharpened blade of a knife or axe. It cuts through defilements so that wisdom can arise. The Buddha taught meditation that leads to mindfulness and insight in the discourse known as the 4 foundations of mindfulness, Satara Satipatthana Sutta. This discourse was dispensed by the Lord Buddha in the town of Kuru. To the people of Kuru, it was dispensed to them because they were people advanced in the Dhamma who had inherent qualities of wisdom and intelligence. The Buddha said, "Monks, these 4 foundations of mindfulness is the one and only path to freedom from suffering. We hold this discourse in high regard and practice it. Because of this prize may the Lord Buddha, being preeminent in the world, Lokottara, and knowing everything in the world, Lokavidu, are states realized by Lord Buddha, or we can say the certain qualities of Buddha. What did the Buddha know about the world that resulted in being referred to as Lokottara and Lokavidu? We begin by investigating the world as the Buddha did to see the true state or nature of all the objects or things in this world. We categorize the world into living and non-living things. Then we use ourselves for examination and start with the tangible component, the body. To cultivate the meditation practices revealed in this discourse, you also need to be able to observe the arising and passing away of all objects. Therefore, we need to know about the 3 stages of the existence of all living and non-living things. Knowing about the birth or arising, existence and destruction or passing away. It is known in Dhamma, Upada, Teti and Bhanga of the living and non-living things in the world. We'll let you know about the true nature of the whole world. We will address these topics in the following chapters. Getting to know the body through investigation. We take great care of our bodies and love our bodies. Therefore, it is important that we know the true nature of the body first. Let us take another look at the body and the food that you eat with such a desire. We know that physical nutriment, solid food, liquid food, and air are required to live. Let us examine what happens to the food we eat. The very delicious piece of cake you eat is chewed up with saliva to a mush. Spit it out and observe the chewed up food. It is pleasing to you now. Will you put it back in your mouth? As it goes down your throat, it mixes with phlegm and then enters the stomach. The food you ate, chown with other partially digested food, which is mixed up with various enzymes and acids that promote digestion. It is a warm, fermented, churning mixture of food that smells and emits gas. Have you ever vomited? This is what the food that you ate with such a desire looks like in the stomach. Have you brought up gas and burped after a big meal? This is a foul smelling and that is emitted from the stomach. The nutriments from this food is absorbed by the body as it passes through the small and large intestines. This is what nourishes the blood and other organs in our body. The heart, lungs, stomach, kidneys, brain, and bones are all nourished by this vomit-like mixture that you reject when you vomit. This is what nourishes the body that you are attracted to and desire. What is left after all the nourishment is absorbed is the excrement and urine that the body rejects. This is what happened to the food that you ate with such desire. All people that we love and care about are made up of blood and organs nourished by this partially digested food that you will never put back into your mouth. If you see the body as it really is, you will not be attached to it or view it with desire. We will begin by investigating the body, the tangible component, to understand its makeup. The components of the body, 32 parts of the body. what are the components of the body? You say that the body is comprised of 32 parts. Can you tell me the 32 parts? If this is so, then you should know exactly what they are, where they are, and what they look like. You should examine yourself and understand clearly without any doubt. Before you say that you are made up of 32 parts, you must examine them by their position, color, shape, smell, and taste, so that you will have a comprehensive idea of the composition of the body. This must be followed by a video or photographs of the individual parts so that you can visualize the composition of the body. The Buddha examined his body and identified 32 parts that are common to human beings. So we can identify those parts. There are 5 visible parts outside the body. They are: number 1, the hair outside the skull, black or white in color, thin and long, like strings hanging around, blunt smell. You may have to think likewise. Number 2, body hair on the skin, black or white, thin, little bit long. It won't longer as the hair. Number 3, nails at the end of fingers and toes, white in color, but you may look like it as a pink color which is attached to your flesh, but it is normally white color, flat, blunt smell, and it may be taste, blood taste. Then number 4, teeth in the jaws of the mouth, white. You have sharp teeth, grinding teeth. It may be a shape of axe. It has the roots moved into the jaws. Some are having 1 root, some are having 2 or 3 roots. Very stably grown into the jaws. Then the 5th one, skin covering the body. It may vary the color from place to place. Your chins having different color, your lips having a different color, and your palms having different color, and your toes and other body areas having different colors. And some places it may smooth. Some areas the body skin will be rough. Sometimes areas it may little bit thin. So likewise, the color may vary and it may looks like a thin layer of film. Blood smell and blood taste will be there. Then we have to investigate the inner parts of the body. There are 4 parts beneath the skin. There are flesh. It is under the skin, red color. Sometimes it may have thinner. It may be a very big layer of flesh. It is blood smell, blood taste. Then the arteries or veins all over the body and under the skin. It is colored in red. Tubes. It is saying that 900 in number form of flesh circulates blood all over the body. Stretchable. It is also smelled with bloody smell and blood taste. Then you may know the bones surrounded by flesh form the human skeleton, white or brown in color, different sizes, different shapes. There are 206 different numbers. It is hollow inside. Dust smell, dusty taste will be there. Then the bone marrow, inside the bones, blood color, manufactures blood, burnt smell, blood taste. It is like a jelly. It won't flow like water. Then there is one part inside the skull. It is brain inside the skull, just like jelly. Those remembering and thinking, his color is white, burnt smell, bloody taste. It is like a flesh ball. There are 2 parts inside the chest. They are heart, made of flesh, color of red, shaped like a mango, the size of person's fist, circulate blood, so pump the blood throughout the body. It is always pumping, squeezing and enlarging. Flesh, smell and taste in the heart. Then you have the lungs inside the chest, shape of the 2 wings of the butterfly, colored red like a beehive, like a balloon, purifies blood, 2 in number. So then there are 10 parts inside the abdomen. There are stomach, like a big bag or like a water pumpkin, performed of flesh. Food we eat is digested inside and collected in the stomach. Smell of flesh, flesh taste. Then the food, or we can say partially digested food, it is on the stomach. Based on the color of food we eat, taste and smell of vomit. Then the pancreas supplied acid to digest food, dirty smell and taste. Color will be like yellow color, shape like cone. It is beneath the stomach. Then the gallbladder makes bile, helps food to be digested, acid smell and taste. It looks like a small color in like a dark green color, and it is round shaped. Then small intestines like a tube made of flesh, size of a thumb, the length of about 5 or 6 times the height of the person, bent in curves, absorbs the digested food we eat. Smell of flesh, taste of flesh will be there. Then the large intestines surrounds the small intestines made of flesh. Food is digested inside. Length is about twice the height of a person. Smell of flesh, taste of flesh. It absorbs the water from our food and passes to our kidneys. Then the rectum stores the residue of digested food, red color, formed with flesh, dirty smell, taste dirty. Then the feces or excrement, the residue of food after digesting and absorbing of water, waste matter you expel through the rectum, smell dirty, taste dirty. Then you have the liver inside the abdomen, like a bag, absorbs food. Color will be little bit dark red color, gives strength when food is not supplied, smell of flesh, taste of flesh. Then finally we get another part, kidneys, absorbs water and cleans the blood, 2 in number, red color. It is curvy shaped. It is half of your fist. Smell of flesh, taste of flesh. And there are 10 liquid substances which are waste matter eliminated from the body. They are mucus of the eye, forms in the eyes and sent out as waste, white color, lime taste, lime smell. Then the tears formed in the eyes as waste, color of water, lime taste, lime smell. Then mucus in the nose formed in the nose, waste matter, yellow color, lime taste, lime smell. Then saliva formed in the mouth, watery, helps digest food, lime taste, color of water. Then the phlegm forms in the lungs, waste matter, yellow color, lime taste, lime smell, sometimes gathered in your throat. Then the sweat formed in the skin, watery, secreted as waste, salty taste, salt smell. Then fat formed inside the skin, oily substance, oily taste, oily smell, meat colored as a yellow color, sometimes thin layers, sometimes thick layers of fat will be seen. Then oxygenated blood formed inside bones, red in color, blood taste, smell of blood. Deoxygenated blood formed of blood when wounded and clotted outside. It is dirty smell, salty taste. It is inside the veins. Then urine, waste water drained in the bladder and sent out, white color or yellow color, salty taste. This is the constitution of the human body. All 32 components of the body that the Buddha described as now known to you. The Buddha has considered the major parts of the body common to both men and women. The body that we take care of and adorn with beautiful clothes and ornaments is comprised of 32 impure, putrid parts. When we look at and investigate the human body, as the Lord Buddha has investigated, there is no separation or identification based on nationality, gender, age, religion, occupation, station of birth, etc. All such conventions that separate and divide beings into me, mine, and other are based on conventional truth and is not absolute truth. Also, in truth, there is nothing beautiful and attractive in the body to be desired. Do you see any distinguishing features of American, English, African, Chinese, Indian, Russian, or any other nationality in the 32 parts of the body? No. Do you see any distinguishing characteristics of Christian, Muslim, Hindus, Sikh, Buddhist, or any other religion in these 32 parts? No. These are terms used conventionally to separate and categorize persons but it is not the absolute truth. Do you look for color, nationality, or religion when a person has a grave illness and in need of a blood transfusion or an organ transplant? No. Are there any distinctions in these 32 parts, whether they belong to a king, a teacher, a lawyer, a farmer, or a mechanic? No. Can you distinguish and say that these 32 parts are mine and these are someone else's? No, these 32 parts are common to all human beings. The names or titles used based on employment or stations in life are also just conventions. When we refer to these 32 parts, I am, myself, he, she, it is not absolute truth. Are these terms included in these parts? No. We cannot identify the parts as belonging to a woman or man. When we dismantle a body to its constituent parts, we love the body, saying it is good, beautiful, pleasant, attractive. Is this anything like that is these parts? No. Each time we examine the body based on its actual components or makeup, we can only find the putrid, unpleasant, smelly secretion and excretion produced by the body, such as pus, tears, mucus, saliva, sweat, urine, feces, etc. This happens continuously from the beginning to the end of life. By living, we are filling the world with all these secretions and excretions. As the Buddha said, this body is like a gold-plated pot filled with sludge. The body is a production factory of sludge, even though we consider it as an attractive and desirable thing. No. Will this condition change over time? As in the past, the body will continue to produce these excretion in the present and future. Therefore, the wise ones will never adorn, decorate, or desire this body. They will live moderately and focus their attention on the practice of the path to enlightenment. They will exert minimum effort to overcome this recurring birth by ending re-becoming.